Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday prep day. It's about 12:45. I'm still drinking my coffee. I'm still on my second cup. I've just been running around today, so my hair is just pulled up. I'm actually resting my eyes, got my contacts out today. They have been driving me insane lately, so this is what you get for this week. But you're not here for me, you're here for the food prep. So on the menu this week is breakfast sandwiches, super easy. I honestly just microwave them and really easy, real good. Those are gonna be 5 points each. And then for lunch prep, I'm doing taco casserole. That is gonna be 4 points. And then for dinners, just have a couple because one night I'm doing leftovers, and then you guys know I don't usually prep beyond Thursday. So that's what's on the menu for this week. So if you want to hang around and watch me as I meal prep for the week for my husband and I for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, then stay with me. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Christy, and I am planning us healthy. Okay guys, so I'm starting you out at the stove because I want to do the lunch first since I have to bake that. So while that's baking, then I can put together the breakfast sandwiches. So normally I start with breakfast, today I'm starting with lunch. So what you want to do is go ahead, and I've already cooked my white rice. I just used the instant white rice, and I cooked up 1 cup of uncooked to make 2 cups of cooked. And I'm just letting that sit now. So then just spray your pan with olive oil spray, and then I'm gonna put in, I have here about a half of a large zucchini. And then I have about a half of a red onion. I usually use white or yellow onion, but I already had a half a red onion cut up, so I want to go ahead and use the other half. So I'm gonna use that in this. So whatever you want to use for onion, it's up to you. So now I'm just gonna let those saute for a little bit. And in the meantime, I am going to take a can of corn and, get my black beans, right? I'm gonna take a can of corn and a can of black beans, and I'm gonna rinse them off with water, put them in a colander, and just rinse them to get ready to put in here. Okay, I've had this cooking for about 5 minutes. I like my onions like really kind of sauteed, so it's up to you. If you don't want to cook them that long, you definitely don't have to, because we're still going to keep cooking them once we add the turkey. So I'm going to add 1 pound of ground turkey breast. Since I'm using the turkey breast, that's what's making it 4 points. So if you're using regular ground turkey, then definitely make sure to add in the additional points for that. Just dump that in there. All right, now we're gonna just cook it until the turkey is cooked through, and then I will come back and show you what we do next. Okay, so I've had the turkey cooking, so now I'm adding spices because ground turkey breast is really bland tasting. So I am gonna still add some onion or salt and pepper and some garlic powder. And then we're going to add a half a packet of taco seasoning. And then just stir that in. I'm going to turn that down a little bit now. And just stir that up real good until you get all the taco seasoning incorporated into all the meat. Okay, next thing you want to do is add your black beans and corn. Again, I've just taken a can of corn, a can of black beans, and just rinse them real well. So add that. And we're going to add a can of Rotel. This is actually the Aldi brand. It's just the diced tomatoes with green chilies. Just add a can to that. And stir it all up. And let me tell you, this smells so good at this point. Okay, once that's all stirred up, now just take a 13 by 9 inch pan and spray it with olive oil spray and add the rice to the bottom of the pan. It's actually sizzling because I have it on the hot burner. And then just add the topping over it. I know I'm right in the camera's way. Let me move the camera down some because it's sizzling on that hot burner and you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I just went ahead and put the topping over the rice. And again, this is going to make 6 portions. And so just so you know, this is a recipe that can be you can freeze this. So if you want to make it for like a dinner or something, you could definitely freeze it. What I usually do is get the throwaway tins, and then I just write the directions on the outside on aluminum foil on the top, and then just pull it out of the freezer and bake it the night that we're going to have it. Okay, and the last thing you want to do is take some Velveeta shreds. These are actually less points than your normal low-fat cheese, so that's why I use this kind. So if you use a different kind of reduced fat cheese, just make sure to plug it into the recipe builder to make sure the points are right. So I'm going to add 1 3/4 cups of the Velveeta shreds. And I actually weigh this out. And just put the cheese on there. And then I'm going to bake it in the 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it after about 15 to 20 minutes just to make sure that the cheese is not browning too much. Sometimes when you cook it without it being covered, the cheese browns, and I don't want it to brown too much. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. And I will have the recipe. This will be on my website, which is planninushealthy.com, and there will be a printable. I try and keep printable PDFs on there too, so that you can print it out. So that's already up right now. Okay, so I'm going to put this in the oven, and I will meet you back at my prep table. All right, guys. So for breakfast sandwiches, these are going to be super, super easy. So you can do your eggs a couple ways. You can actually bake them on a tray in the oven. I have seen those recipes done that way. We don't really care for our eggs done that way. I either like my eggs fresh made on the stove, or I'm fine with the breakfast sandwiches just doing the egg in a microwave. So what I usually do is get some type of round dish that's about the size of the English muffin, and I spray it with olive oil spray. These are kind of tall, but that's okay. If you have something that's like half this size, that would be great. So I just spray the inside and crack an egg in it. And then just beat the egg. And then I just cook that in the microwave for about 1 minute. And then that way it's easy because you can just kind of take the English muffin and put it in there and flip it out. So I'll show you when that's done. So I'm going to do 3 at a time. Okay, I'm going to put these in the microwave for just about a minute. Just keep an eye on them. You can tell if they need it more because they'll still be runny. Okay, so once the egg is cooked, then I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. And I actually ended up doing some in these little square ones too, just so that I could do them all at the same time. I only have 3 of these. Okay, and then we are going to use Velveeta slices. We're going to use 1 slice of Velveeta slice per sandwich and 2 pieces of Canadian bacon. You can actually use 3 pieces of Canadian bacon if you want, and it's still the same points. But I'm just going to use 2. So I'm going to put my cheese on each egg so that melts a little bit. And you can make these fresh if you want. And usually what we do when we have these on the weekends, we will just toast the English muffin. When I prep these ahead of time, I don't toast the English muffin because I've not really had luck. Usually the English muffin comes out kind of hard, even when I use damp paper towels on them. So I just don't even cook them and they come out the same. They come out tasting the same. So that's up to you. You might have to play around to see if you like the English muffin not cooked or if you would rather toast it first. All right, so after our cheese is on there, we're just going to put 1 slice of the Canadian bacon. And then what I have done is I have some paper towels that I have dampened, and that just helps so that the English muffin isn't as hard. So I'm going to spray each English muffin with spray butter, and we like mustard on our breakfast sandwich. So that's up to you if you want to put the mustard or not. It just gives it a little bit of a zing to it. I actually thought it sounded real nasty. And my husband used to do it, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it, and it was really good. And then the English muffins I'm using are the high fiber. Like I said in the beginning, if you are in a place where you have those 2-point muffins, then these sandwiches would be 4 points. But with this type of muffin, it is going to be 5 points because these are 3 points each. Okay, and then just take your English muffin, put it in the dish, and pop it right out. And then just put your other slice of Canadian bacon on there and the other top. And there you go. There's your sandwich. Super quick, super easy. Now I'm just going to wrap it in the damp paper towel and wrap it in aluminum foil, which I have way too big a piece. And then we have our sandwiches for the week. So when it comes time to cook them, I will take it out of the aluminum foil. I'll leave it in the paper towel, and then I'll cook it for maybe about a minute. Just kind of keep an eye on it. It depends on your microwave. My microwave at home is completely different than my microwave at work. Another thing is you can freeze these at this point, and then when you take them out of the freezer, you can put them right in the microwave straight from the freezer. And in that case, they usually take, what I usually do is about 1.5 minutes, and then I flip them and cook them up to a minute later. So if you freeze them, just remember they're going to take a little bit longer. So now I'm just going to put the rest of these together. So I just went ahead and marked what they are and how many points they are. If you were going to freeze these, then what I would suggest is just throw them all into a gallon bag so you can keep them in your freezer together, and then just pull one out when you're ready to eat them. So, but I'm not going to freeze them because we're going to be eating these Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, my husband and I. So now I'm going to just clean up a little bit and check on the lunch. All right, guys, so lunch is done. So that's what it looks like. Looks so good. So now I'm just going to cut this into 6 portions. Get that quite even. And then I'm just going to put the portions into our dish, which this is actually going to be way too big a dish, but that's okay. Then for my last one, I'm just going to put it in this dish. For some reason, I'm missing one of my dishes. I might have left one at work. All right. Okay, that is it. So that is a really good portion for lunch. So what I may do, I'm going to see if my husband wants like some taco sauce or anything on it. So I may go ahead and just put some taco sauce in some little containers. These are just the little containers I get at Dollar Tree. So I may just put some taco sauce in there, and then that way we can pour it over it when we have it. All right, so breakfast is done, lunch is done, and now I'm going to move on to dinners. All right, guys, so now it is time to move on to dinners. So if you're new to my channel, I don't do my dinners like I do breakfast and lunch. I don't actually cook everything. I'm basically just pre-packaging them. You could think of it kind of like if you have ever tried out one of the meal delivery places like Home Chef or Blue Apron or anything like that. It's kind of how they package it, how they send it is pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just doing it myself. So that way everything is already weighed out, measured. When I get home from work during the week, I can just pull the package out. I know how much is in there. I know it's only usually enough for just my husband and I to have one portion each. And then we don't usually have leftovers or anything. So it just makes it easier and makes it a lot easier for me to track. I can go ahead and pre-track. I could sit down tonight and pre-track my breakfast, lunch, and dinner into my Weight Watchers app tonight for the whole week. And I already know. And then that way I know what I have left for snacks. So for the first one we're going to do, first one I'm doing tonight is 1 pan pork chops with roasted pears and green beans. I don't think I'm going to do anything special with the pork chops this week. I think I'm just going to go ahead and bake them the good old-fashioned way, just in the oven, maybe with some salt and pepper. I may end up putting some Parmesan for an extra point, but right now I'm just going to assume that I'm going to just do them plain and put them in the bag that way. So basically I'm going to be putting the sides in there. So for this one, I'm going to use green beans. And I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut the ends off the green beans just to save me a little bit of time during the week. So I'm just going to do that now. Done. So basically when I am prepping my dinners, I don't wash the vegetables or anything. I normally don't cut them, but I figured I would at least cut the ends off these because that'll save me just a little bit of time. So I'm just going to put them in the bag this way, and then I'll wash them the night that we have them. Okay, the next thing we need for this one is 1 pear. This is actually really good. The pear with the green beans, it's really good. It sounds gross, but it's good. And then I'm going to need a couple garlic cloves, but because these cloves are really big, I'm just going to put 1 in there. And then also a shallot. That's a big shallot too. And then normally I would put some thyme sprigs in there, but I forgot to buy some, so I'm just going to use dried thyme when I cook it. And I'm going to put the recipes down below for these. The 2 that I'm preparing, I actually got off the Home Chef website. I tried Home Chef a long time ago, and I really liked them, but I do still like a lot of their recipes. I just try and tweak them so that they're Weight Watchers friendly. Some of them are not quite Weight Watchers friendly, so I will put the links to the original recipes down below, and then I will put any modifications that I make as well. The next thing we want is 2 teaspoons of chicken base. And then the other thing we need is an ounce of butter, which I'm not going to put in the bag. I don't usually put butter in the bag or things like flour, things like that. If it's a big portion of flour, then I will maybe measure that out and put that in like a little snack bag and put it in there. But things like that, like small amounts of butter and things like that, I'll just do that the night that we have it. So then the next thing I'm going to do is put the pork chops in there. So I actually, for both my meat, I have them already prepackaged, and these are about 5-ounce portions of pork chops. I'll put that in there. And then that's it for that night. I may decide to throw on a few potatoes, but at this point, I'm not planning on it. I'm just cooking just that. All right, so there's that one. So that is going to be 6 Smart Points per serving. Okay, the next one I'm going to be putting together is Marsala mushroom chicken skillet. This one looks real good. This one is completely a recipe I'm doing from Home Chef with a few minor modifications. And this one actually calls for frozen peas as well, and I forgot to buy peas. So I don't know if I'm going to stop and pick some up during the week, or if I'm not going to worry about it and just put some extra broccoli in there. So for this one, we need some broccoli florets. And the recipe actually calls for 6 ounces, but I always use a little bit extra when it comes to vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and things like that. Okay, and the next thing we want is about 6 ounces of mushrooms. And that goes in there. I don't think we need that. And then 1 shallot. And then this is one of the ones that actually calls for a 1/2 ounce of flour. I'm not going to put that in there. I'll do it the night we have it. This one does not call for garlic, but I am going to go ahead and put some garlic in that. I'm going to do 2 teaspoons of the chicken base for this one as well. This one actually calls for the chicken, I don't know how you say it, glaze? It's like a glaze, but I don't buy that. You can get it off of Amazon, but it's kind of expensive, so I just use it with, I just use chicken base. I know it's not the same. The chicken glaze is actually something made out of veal, so that's up to you if you want to purchase that. I know I've seen it on Amazon. Okay, so we'll put that. And then the next thing we're going to need is, this is one of the modifications I'm doing as well. It calls for 4 ounces of light cream. I'm going to use 4 ounces of fat-free half and half. And 3 ounces of Marsala wine. And then finally, our chicken breast. I'm using about 13 ounces of chicken breast. You can actually use pork or whatever meat you want in this recipe, but I am doing chicken. Okay, that one is done. So the other dinner that I'm doing tonight is, I was going to do pot roast, but we decided we're going to do London broil on the grill. My husband wants to cook it on the grill. So I have had the London broil marinating in Olive Garden Italian dressing. Had that marinating in that. And I have foil pack potatoes, carrots, and onions in the slow cooker that I've had cooking. And I'm going to insert a clip right now just to show you those. Okay, so here are my foil packs that I make, and usually I put these in a crock pot over like a pork roast or something, but we're gonna do the London broil today on the grill. My husband wants to do it on the grill, so I'm just gonna put these in the crock pot by themselves, but just to show you how easy these are, I have about 4 ounces of potato cut up in there. I take the aluminum foil, a sheet of aluminum foil, and spray it with some olive oil spray. And then I just cut up some fresh carrots. I don't peel my carrots. I just wash them real good, the outsides, and I never peel them. I always eat them that way. But just make sure you wash them real good with a vegetable brush. So there's fresh carrots in there, about 4 ounces of potato. I cut up some red onion in there, and also put some garlic, minced garlic is in there. And then I just sprinkle it with some, today I'm using the Salad Supreme, but you can use whatever spices you want. And then I also have 2/3 of a tablespoon of light butter. I usually do a 1/2 tablespoon of light butter, but I realized that you can do 2/3 of a tablespoon for the same amount of points. It's 2 points for a 1/2 tablespoon or 2 points for 2/3. So I'm going to go ahead and go with more on that. So for this whole packet is going to be 5 points. So that is a nice little packet. And so what I'm going to do, because we're having we're going to have the London broil in these packets tonight and tomorrow night, I'm making up 4 packets. So after it's together, I just put it together like this, and I stick it in the slow cooker for about 8 hours. I let it cook up. So that's how I do those. And so what I'm going to do is I'm making 4. That way they're already portioned out for today and tomorrow, and then tomorrow we'll just reheat them. So that's how super easy those are. So that's what we're having tonight and also tomorrow night. Anybody who, if you saw my meal plan, you saw that tomorrow night we're having leftovers from today. So that is what we're having. And then Thursday night we are doing baked cod, and I will put a card up for that recipe. That is a really good recipe too, and I have a cook with me out for that. I'm not prepping that one, packaging that one tonight because it's just potatoes and frozen cod, so there's really nothing to prep. And then Friday night we're doing strombolis, so I will make those fresh Friday night. All right, so now I'm gonna put some of this away and then we will move on to snacks and be done. Okay, so now we're moving on to snacks, and if you are new to my channel and are wondering what my husband and I do for breakfast and lunch on Thursday and Friday, because as you saw, I just do 3 days worth of breakfast and lunch for us. So on Thursdays, we usually just do a yogurt, 2-point yogurt with some fruit. And then on Friday, I am going to do my Fiber One cereal. I just weigh out 30 grams of Fiber One cereal, and I have a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk that I have with it. And so then I just take that to work with me. And then for lunch, one day for lunch, I am going to do probably an egg salad on lettuce. And Friday for lunch, I'm doing cucumber sandwiches. So basically for cucumber sandwiches, you just take a cucumber and you gut it out. And I usually spread 1 wedge of Laughing Cow cheese on the inside of the cucumber. I kind of pat it dry with a paper towel first because it gets some of the wetness off. And then just spread a Laughing Cow cheese wedge in there and then put some turkey on it, and you've got a 1-point sandwich for lunch. So that's what I'm gonna do for Friday. So for snacks, I basically just took my whole snack tray out of the fridge. I keep this in the fridge. This has our 2-point sugar-free puddings and our yogurt. We do yogurt sometimes for breakfast, sometimes for snack. And then for the rest of the week, I measure out I use Snack Factory pretzel crisps, and I just weigh them out, portion them out. I usually do about 4 bags and keep them in the fridge. I put a Laughing Cow cheese wedge in them, or I sometimes use the Aldi dip, queso dip from Aldi. That is 1 point for 2 tablespoons, but I don't have any of that this week. So I'm just gonna weigh this out, and I'm gonna put 28 grams in each one. And then put a Laughing Cow cheese wedge in there, and that's it. That's all I do with those. Alright, and then the last thing I'm going to do is put our fruit bowls together. Usually we do cantaloupe, but this week I didn't get cantaloupe. I usually get it from Aldi, and I went to Walmart this week, and I thought the cantaloupes were a little bit too expensive. So I just have blackberries and blueberries. And that's it for those. And then the other thing we have is we do have bananas for the week too if we want. So now I'm going to put the whole spread out and show you guys what we ended up with. Alright guys, so this is what we ended up with for the week. So we'll start down with the snacks. I have our 0-point fruit bowls with blackberries and blueberries and also bananas. Have our Greek yogurt for 2 points, our sugar-free pudding for 2 points, Snack Factory pretzels, which are 3 points, plus the Laughing Cow cheese wedge is 1, so that's a 4-point snack. Have my cereal, Fiber One cereal, that's 2 points, and I do the half a cup of unsweetened almond milk, which I have to get more of, and that is 0 points, so it's a 2-point breakfast. And then I have our breakfast bacon, egg, and cheese muffins for 5 smart points each. And then my husband and I did decide that we wanted to do some taco sauce with our taco casserole. So I went ahead and put some taco sauce in little containers. So this is what it looks like. So that is a pretty good portion. That is 5 points for each one. And then for dinners, I have the London broil sitting there that we're doing tonight, and then that'll be also for tomorrow. The 1-pan pork chops with roasted pears and green beans for 6 smart points per serving. And the marsala mushroom chicken skillet for 5 smart points per serving. Okay, everyone, so that's it. Another week of prep done. Did not do too bad today at all. And as always, like I said, I will link all the recipes down in the description box below. I will either link them to the recipe that's on my website, planningishealthy.com, or I will link to the original website. If it's somebody else's recipe, I will always link that person or that company, whoever, and then I will put my modifications. And also for the Q&A video, you guys, I did not get that filmed Friday night, so that will be coming. I have that on my agenda to work on this week, so just be patient with me. That will be up soon. So if you're new to my channel, I hope that you will consider subscribing. Please hit that subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. And I do meal preps, I do grocery hauls, I do cook with me's and all that. So I hope you'll join us here on this channel. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. I will see you in my next video. I am Christy, and I am Planning Us Healthy.